Good morning, lovely friends. It's Heather at Bush Poppy Farm. I hope you're doing well. The bees seem to have finally settled down, and it's a much cooler day today, so there's fewer of them flying. So I'm going to get started here in the front garden, and I'm going to make some progress, but there's so much to do that it's not going to be a huge amount. The first thing that I need to tackle is this corner, this big old mess. So yeah, there's some buckets and stuff that I can dump and some garbage to throw away. But the bigger issue is this is a small chicken coop that I raised, well, once the last group of chicks was ready, was big enough to come outside, they came out here into the chicken run inside this because you can't combine, you know, young hens, unsexually mature, with mature hens and expect there to not be bloodshed. So this was their temporary for about 2 weeks. They stayed in here. It was plenty big for them because they were small. And then the older hens got to know them through the wire. And eventually when I opened the door and let them all mix, there was no fighting. I mean, there was the basic, you know, reestablishing the pecking order thing, but there was no violence. So anyway, this coop I want to keep because it's important for that and also to isolate sick chickens if I need to. So it's here just because it's an easy place to put it, but it has been completely undermined. You can see lots of holes down here by rats and stuff. So basically what I'm going to do is clean this whole area out, pull the whole thing out, and then put a thick high wall layer of wood chips along here and replace this. Yes, the rats will continue to dig down, but kind of the point here is to kind of reestablish where I want all the soil levels to be, and that over the next couple of days, as I do that and I see new holes popping up, I can start setting out traps exactly where I need to so that it's not, you know, kind of a random way to try to kill the rats, but I'm finding where they're hiding and I can start trapping them as they come out of their burrows. So like for instance, in this bed, you can see lots of big, deep holes. Now, there's nothing else really growing in this bed other than like a random carrot or two. And so I don't know that they're even still down here, but I am going to use my shovel, break all this up, and then add some more soil, flatten it all out, and then we'll see what happens, you know, with those holes. If they reappear, those are great places to put traps so that as they come out of the hole, they hit that trap. Okay, so it's just gonna be like a bunch of manual labor getting going, but I think as I can get some of this done, it'll feel really good. And I do wanna get all the compost off of the driveway because, you know, it's blocking where people can park. So I'm looking forward to doing that. If I run into anything freaky, I'll let you know, but I'm hoping that the rats are all sleeping down deep in their burrows right now. And I'm sure me moving stuff around is not going to be very enticing for them. They're probably gonna run from me. So I'm not too worried about that. And as long as the bees leave me be, I can get a bunch of stuff done. All right, so I'm gonna get started. Well, I only got a little bit done. There is a solitary bee that is very intent on getting in my face. I could put the veil on and keep working, but it's harder to move around in that thing. So I think what I'm going to do is go have some lunch, wait a few hours till it gets cooler, the sun starts to set, not till it gets dark, but and then go back out and see if I can get a little bit more done. Tomorrow is going to be even cooler than today, and so I think that will help. But I just wasn't excited about getting stung again. The two stings on my wrist, which are like, I don't know, and 2 inches apart from each other, they keep me up at night. It's so itchy, like that, like deep itch that travels up my arm. That happens every time I get stung. The first day is no big deal, and then there's a couple of days where it's just like I can't stop itching. I'm using hydrocortisone cream, but it's just not enough. Oh, and I can't take Benadryl because I am highly allergic to Benadryl. So I pretty much am left with just topical things, which is fine. Anyway, I'm just going to give that bee her space. I don't know what she's upset about because she's chasing me far. I'm not close to the hives. I'm working down, I don't know, 70 feet away from the hives. She's just irritated. Doesn't want me there. So I'm going to go ahead inside and just chill. And when it gets colder and the sun starts to go down, I'll come back out and see what I can get done. I'm not in a super rush with this, but I would like to get most of it done so that I can just get the rodent control going. Because I do have seedlings that are, getting close to needing to come out. And I would like to be able to put them out and not feel like they're going to immediately get eaten. So, all right, I will catch up with you guys a little later. Hopefully she will have gone to bed or gone somewhere and I can get some more work done. Okay, so it's the next day. We had rain move in and we've had squalls on and off since, 8 p.m. last night. Only about a quarter inch, so not anything major, but it is very windy. So I'm out here again. I'm hoping the bees will be chill, at least that one bee. And I'm going to try to, at least at a minimum, get this one big bed done. Yesterday, I was able to, put the wood chips under this extra coop and get this bed refilled, and you can see it's level and there's no holes in it right now. These are Oyas that hold water for me. I have to keep continually to fill them, but that's what feeds this bed, so it's not on regular irrigation. But what I need to do today is pull up all the irrigation in this bed and then just start wheeling over compost. It shouldn't be that hard or take that long, but I am going to try to make a nice edge here. And then I can start working on this bed, which still needs to be dramatically weeded, and get compost in here. I think wood chips are going to be the last step in this whole process. So I'm not going to pull up the mustards or the onions or obviously the artichokes that are down there. They'll just get compost around them. And then along the fence line here, we've got daffodils and peonies, which haven't started coming up yet. So those I'm not going to mess with, really. I might put a little bit of compost around them, but nothing major. I don't want to impede any growth over there right now. Okay, I apologize for the wind. My camera battery died, so I'm using my phone. So hopefully you can hear me. Got quite a bit done. The reason we're stopping is the bees, it's the warmest time of the day. It's still pretty chilly and windy, but they're getting irritable around trying to move wood chips and soil. So we're gonna stop for the day, but I'll show you really quick what we did. So got this whole bed done, pulled up the irrigation, put all the soil down, and then replaced the irrigation. And it's all nice and leveled out. Did the same thing for these two beds. I actually expanded these beds. They're a little bit bigger than they were last year, which is nice. Because they got pretty thin last year, and my crop plan didn't really work as well because it was just a little too thin. So irrigation's down. Still to go, obviously wood chips in all the pathways, but we did hoe all the pathways as well because, you know, there were weeds were growing up in there. But tomorrow I'm going to chop down, it saddens me because it looks so beautiful, but I'm going to chop down all of this mustard, chop it up into chunks, put it in this bed and bury it. Well, I'll give some to the chickens before I do that, but because this is to biofumigate this bed, which had potatoes in it last year and terrible fungal disease. So, and you can see how low the soil has dropped. So this will be great. I'll chop this all down. It'll go into the bed, get mixed up with the new soil. And then this bed needs soil as well. I need to put compost in, in here around all of the fruit trees, and scrape away the wood chips from right around their base. So all that needs to be done. Need to do the same thing here around the base of the roses and these fruit trees. So pull away the leaves and wood chips and put just a big pile of compost as well as fertilizer. I will fertilize them at the same time. And then add compost in here in between all of the, and that's like doing it by hand with a glove and just a handful of soil job. Fill this all in, and of course add more wood chips where we need to. These beds are chock full of soil, so I might do a dusting of compost on top of them, but that's about all I can do because they are full. This bed I'll give just a light coating of, especially because I don't want to mess up the daffodils. Look how gorgeous these are, and they are super fragrant. So the rest of the soil, and there'll still be quite a bit of soil left after this, is going to be for the backyard. I will put some in the cottage garden bed, just, like an inch, give everybody just a top up. It's basically side dressing to give them some nutrition for the season. But I also have, I think, an idea for a brand new flower bed in a place where nothing is currently growing. So we were gifted a whole bunch of flagstone, and I'm thinking about making a pathway through it and then having it's going to be mostly a shade garden. And so I'm excited about that, and to have compost here ready to use is even better. So that's the plan. This makes me extremely happy. Basically it's ready to plant. I'm going to give it, 5 or 6 days while I harden off seedlings and see where the rodent holes pop up so I can start putting out traps and getting as many of those buggers as possible. I do have potatoes I need to start chitting so that we can plant those. I still haven't just made a decision. I'm going to put some in grow bags. I might make this bed my potato bed, even though it's got onions in it. We might add some potatoes in there as well. I don't know, we'll see. However, I think, I have to look it up, but I have a feeling there's something about you shouldn't grow onions with potatoes. I could be wrong, but some plants are better together than others. I do have another bed I could use, but I am not going to use this bed that I'm going to chop up the mustard in for potatoes, even though I'm biofumigating it, because it's only been one season. And I don't want to put potatoes in there and get potato blight again. So they will go in a different location where I did not have blight. Hopefully we won't get it again this year. I don't know, we'll see. The weather's been very strange. Who knows? All right, the wind is blowing. I'm sure it's hard to hear me. I'm hungry. I'm going to go have some food. So thanks for hanging out with me over those last 2 days. I hope you guys have a wonderful time in your garden, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.